Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction 2. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 3. Enough is enough. I'm Scott Carney, with Ali Pearson.
Yes, unlikely to. I say it's unlikely. Unlucky to do this post-match reaction. We said after the Old Firm Michael Beale should go today. That was shambolic, but I'm not shocked. Which is a sad state of affairs where we are at the moment as a football club.
Yeah, today was horrible. Really bad. Nothing of today worked at all. The lineup was as strong as you could get it. I get that on paper anyway, but we're still continuing to see the same thing from Rangers. We start well for maybe 10-15 minutes, then we drop into a lull. Aberdeen scored and we never recovered from it. Michael Beale has to be removed from his job tonight. I believe the board will act. I don't think I'm trying to be over hopeful there. They have to act, or else I think they're going to lose the crowd altogether. What we witnessed today was the end of Michael Beale and an experiment that hasn't worked. If we're going to be ruefully honest, Ali, none of the signings, absolutely none of the signings, bar Butland, have worked.
No, let's be brutally honest. Apart from Butland, who is a good signing, who, let's be honest, we could possibly lose. The rest have been a disaster so far. I've seen nothing in them. For me, it tells a story when one of your strikers was reportedly £4 million was booed off the park by some Rangers fans today.
Horrible. Because
performance once again was terrible, along with the rest of them. Let's be honest with, not just him on his own, but the rest of these Rangers players. I said it for a while, Carney. I don't know what this Rangers team need to get a reaction. They failed their manager and they failed us ultimately, and it's Michael Beale will get it and he will leave as Rangers manager.
Yeah, ultimately he will. It really is as simple as that for me. There's not really in between. I don't think there's much of an argument in order to keep him in the job now. I think people will say the only one that I can think of really is the injury list thing, but would we still be seeing the trepid football that we're seeing? Would we still be seeing the lulls that we're seeing? Yes, we would. Unfortunately, it looks like he's out his depth, and today was an accumulation of everything that's wrong. Ali, we even mentioned it walking down the street, walking back down from the stadium, mate. This was on the post for weeks, mate.
Oh,
we've been saying it. We've been saying that we're going to get caught out, continue to play this football. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a sad state of affairs. We're standing here and we're not shocked, because I think if every Rangers fan is honest to themselves, we have all been going to Ibrox waiting something like this to happen. Yes, we've won 4 games since the Celtic game on the trot, clean sheets. It hasn't been convincing, let's be honest about it. No. We've been waiting on it. We haven't played anyone semi-decent against. Let's be honest, I put the Aberdeen team today. I thought they were. I don't think they were great shakes, but they wanted it more desire, more fight. It shouldn't be happening against a Rangers team. Aberdeen deserved their win today. We were a shambles, pathetic, and this has been in the post for weeks, Carney, and it just so happens it's happened now. The board should have acted after the Old Firm, and Beale should have went. And again, as we said, we all said this was going to happen, but by then it's going to be too late in the league. I know there's lots of games left in the league, but 7 points behind, and we're still in September, is pathetic. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, it is. I can't disagree with any of that. Ultimately, we've got a team of players that don't believe. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe blatantly in what the manager's trying to tell them. And we've got a manager that doesn't really have a clue what he's doing now. Today's nowhere near the standard. I mean, it's so far off. I can't even bring myself to break down the game, because Rangers were so poor all over the pitch. Really, we're so poor. We have nothing. There's no quality. There's no desire. There's no heart. There's nobody wanting to grab the game and make something happen. It's a really poor show, really poor show, and today was just as I say, an accumulation of all the problems that I believe there is under Michael Beale, and it's the end of Michael Beale at Rangers as far as I am concerned. Ali, look, things weren't helped today by the way that we had set up. I know that the injury players are going to get brought into the conversation, I do get that. However, even with the players that are on the pitch, look, see Dessers, he's not good enough to be a Rangers player, but he showed absolutely zero for us to get behind. He had chances today, he made a mess of them. So Fuentes had a chance as well that he's probably done better with. Apart from that, it was very few far between apart from the goal. Scott Wright comes on. I don't think the first one's a booking, don't get me wrong, but he still gets himself sent off, and it was just like, yeah, of course it is. And all it did was just add to the misery of what we were watching.
Yeah, it was. We're so easy to play against Rangers. I know we're missing a lot of players, and we're missing creative players, but still, even at that, I'm looking at boys like we've brought in. We spent £3 million. Sam Lammers, a guy that should be saying, "You need a ball, let me dictate." there's nobody in that team that wants the ball. For me, they get the ball, they give it to somebody else. Nobody wants responsibility in that Rangers team, and that's the worry for me. There's been spells in the last couple of games where folk have grabbed the game. Yilmaz during the week grabbed the game when we got in that sticky spell. I've seen Matondo do it before, but they're not up for it. They're not up for it, and some of these new players are
so far off it.
It's just not Rangers class. But the worry, Carney, is these guys are on big contracts. You can't just get rid of these guys. Yeah, I mean, Michael Beale has to go, and you need to look to bring somebody else in. And yeah, we're still in the League Cup. We're still in fourth runs, if you want to say, but it's been a shambles. It's been an utter shambles. We cried for freshness this summer. We got freshness, but the recruitment has been shocking when you actually see these players in the park.
This is Beale's team. That's the thing. That's why I don't think we're not being overcritical now, because this is his team and his team is not working. We can't continue to go down, or they need to take time to adjust and all that. No, that's nonsense now, as far as I'm concerned. Even with the injury list, that team that's put out in front of Aberdeen today should have enough to beat Aberdeen. It is as simple as that. Money and wages alone, we should be enough to beat Aberdeen, and he's failed. He ultimately has failed. It wasn't a nice place to be, Ibrox, today, really, and really not nice. The people that stayed to the end, including Alistair and myself, who stayed right to the very end, even they people that wanted to decide and put themselves through more of that, still had their bits to say at full time. It's not worked. It hasn't worked. The board cannot ignore what is happening in front of them, because the Rangers fans certainly, I don't think, we're going to put up with it now. It's unfortunate. I don't like to see a guy lose his job, but it has to be done, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't expect him to be in a job tomorrow. So yeah, really, really poor day all round. I don't really know what much else to add to that, because I'm not feeling particularly good about things. Ali, anything really to add on it?
I think this weekend kind of told a tale, if you're being honest. You look, and you need to look to the other side of the city, because they are challengers, if you want to say. They did what we can't do. They unfortunately, if you want to say, have a team of winners. They know how to win football games. We don't. We are pathetic, lethargic. We don't have a system. We're in October tomorrow, and we still don't know what the system is in the team. We don't know how we're playing. We are miles behind. Let's be honest about it, absolute miles behind. And it's up to the board now to act. They should have acted against it after the Celtic game, but they have to act tonight. And it's up to them to bring somebody in. That's not us. We can talk amongst ourselves about who's about and who you'd like as a manager, but it's down to the board, and they need to get it right. But the worry for me, Canny, is whoever comes in is working with these group of players who Beale have brought in, and so far from what I've seen, they're not up to it.
Yeah, but I think Beale can get caught down on stats alone and stats this and stats that. Stats are not always going to win you football games.
I think he's dug his own grave, Carl.
Yeah,
he really has.
They're not always going to win you football games. You need to have a team that want to do it, and we don't look like a team that want to do it right now. We just don't. And I'm talking from senior players down to everybody else that's involved. New signings, people that have been there before. It's exactly the same to me. Nothing's changed. We're in a really poor way. This was always going to happen, and it's happened probably quicker than a lot expected. But as far as I'm concerned, as I said at the start of the podcast, enough is enough. Enough is enough for me. He simply has to go. I know we came back, we scored the goal, but when it went to 2-0, that's just not good enough. It really isn't good enough, and we're not improving. We're just not improving, and we need to change it. We ultimately need to change it. Ali, for this thankless task, mate, thank you so much, man.
Scotia, wish I was in Italy with you, honestly. Yeah. You've dodged a bullet this week. It's sad, because I wish you'd think we'd be on this podcast extremely angry, but the sad state of affairs is this isn't a shock. We were all waiting on it, and it's came today against Aberdeen, which deep down I thought, if I'm being honest about it, I really did. But yeah, we'll just need to move on from here. We're away to Cyprus on Thursday night in the Europa League, and we're away to St Mirren before we go into international break. But I don't know what the board do. Do they? Obviously Beale needs to go, but do you limp with a temporary staff until you hit the international break? Because they have that wee period there, so that's down to them. But yeah, it's coming out right. It doesn't feel good coming out of Ibrox once again, but
yeah, I don't want I'm angry. I had my moments throughout that game where I was extremely angry with what I was witnessing, but now it's just a kind of dawn of realisation. I think that it's the end for Michael Beale at Rangers, unfortunately, and the board have to act. It is really as simple as that. I don't think they're silly enough to know that they can get away with it now, because they will start to lose the crowd. And as blasé as this sounds, they can build as many Edmondson houses and museums if they want. If we're not winning football matches on the pitch, and what we are seeing with our own eyes, which is no improvement in this football team, ultimately it's not worked, and Michael Beale is the only one that can be removed, because you can't get rid of all the players. I think in terms of a new manager, I know people will say, who do you want? It's not up for me to decide that. I want Pep Guardiola. That's not going to happen. Let's be honest about it. It's not up for me to decide that. What we are seeing right now isn't good enough, and the standards of our club are dropping.
We need a guy, Carney, to come in and organise this Rangers team. As sad as it
just
sounds,
install something into them.
A guy to come in, organises, and give us a style of play, and build for that. And I always remember when Walter came back for the Paul Le Guen disaster, the first thing he did was come in and showed the ship up, if you want to say it, and built for there. We need something like that to move forward. Who it is, I do not know, but we need somebody with a steady hands to come in. But it's a big job for somebody to come in. Where we are, 7 points behind, but I mean, we're still in competition, so we're still in Europe, we're still in the cups. There's a lot of games left in this league, but yeah, it's a hard place to be right now. It's
a difficult one. It really is a difficult one. I think you could put an argument forward if you were seeing something that you could pin your hat on, but we're not seeing anything, unfortunately. We will be back on Tuesday. I won't be, however, but the lads will be. I'm working on Tuesday, so I won't be able to make Club Deck Corner, but I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about by the time Tuesday comes around. So try and enjoy the rest of your weekend if you possibly can. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.